So today we're going to take a novice look at the Netgear N600 wireless dual band gigabit router. The reason I'm saying novice is because we are far from experts on this. So let's unbox it and see what we have. Comes wrapped. So open in the box. You can see it's all neatly packed in here. So let's start looking at what's here. I believe this is probably going to be manuals of some sort. Package contents. Public license. Ready share access. We'll look into this stuff more. Oh, 35 free songs. Okay, so you have the Ethernet cable. You have the stand. This can go on its side or lay flat on its back, on its bottom. You have power cable. And then you have the unit itself. It's all wrapped in plastic. And it's completely covered and protected too, so we need to take all this stuff off. Now that the router has been unboxed, let's take a look at the front display panel. We will go from left to right. The first indicator light is for your power. The second indicator light is your internet connection light, meaning once the router has detected the Ethernet cable coming from the modem to the router, that will light up. Next would be your 2.4 gigahertz, followed by your 5 gigahertz indicator lights. Those are your wireless modes. The next four, the 1, 2, 3, 4, those are the lights that correspond to the local area network ports on the back of the router. That's where your Ethernet cables plug in for your computer, laptop, or whatever you're plugging in using an Ethernet cable. That's followed by the USB port indicator light. The port is on the rear. You could plug in a printer or a hard drive, as long as it's USB, and everyone on the network will be able to use that. The indicator lights are followed by two switches. The first switch is your wireless local area network switch. Basically, that just turns the wireless on and off. If it's on, you push it, it turns off the wireless, but anything connected to the router through the Ethernet cables will still be connected to the internet. It's just anything throughout the rest of the house that is wireless will not be. And the very last switch, it's an on-off switch. That is your Wi-Fi protected setup. So that covers the whole front. So let's take a look across the back now. So across the back, again going from left to right, we start with the USB port, which I've already said, printer, hard drive, whatever it's USB, plugs in there, indicator light will light, everyone can use it. The next four ports are your local area network ports. That's where Ethernet cables go into for your laptops, your desktops, or whatever you're connecting with an Ethernet cable. And whatever one you plug in, the corresponding number on the front will light to let you know that port's being used. Following that is your wide area network port. That is yellow. That is where you will connect the Ethernet cable coming from your modem. And what Netgear's done is they made that one yellow, and the Ethernet cable that they include with this router is, yes, yellow. So, following that would be the port where you stick in the AC power adapter. And next to that would be the on-off switch. So that pretty much explains the back of the router. So let's go hook it up and do a setup. Okay, one more thing before we do the setup. It did come with a stand, and the way that the stand works, got it backwards. Slot right there. Plug it in. Boom. We'll stand on the side. All right, let's go set it up. So what we're going to do is we're going to set it up. We're going to set up using the instructions that came with it. Number one, it says turn the power off on your modem, which I've done. The blinking light in there is just the battery backup that's on it. Step two, it says to connect one end of the yellow Ethernet cable to the modem and the other end to the router. So I will do that. A little hard working here. Connected. Pull this out a little. And then on the back here, this will go into the other end. Put that all over there for now. Okay, step 3 would be to turn the power on to your modem. So I've got to get up to do this. Okay, so the modem's up and running. So let's move on to step 4. Step 4 is to connect the power adapter to the router. So let's do that. This is getting messy here. I will put all these wires away once this is done, but this is just to show you the setup. So you plug it in. Plug it in down here. Okay. So this should be starting to set up now. Okay, power indicator, the light is lit. You see that?
Let me zoom in on it. Yep.
Okay, and it says you need to wait for the 2.4 gigahertz LED to light up. It's probably going to take a moment, so we'll come back. So as you can see, we have the power indicator light. We have an internet connection on. The 2.4 and the 5 gigahertz are now working, meaning that I have an internet connection through wireless only. So step 5 is to connect your computer to the router. So what we'll end up doing, we'll use the desktop, and let me find that Ethernet cable. And I will connect it to the first port. As you can see, number 1 is now lit. So the desktop is set up to the internet, and I do have wireless throughout the house. So the next thing, let's see if it worked. Step 6, open a browser. So let's see if it worked. Apparently it did.
Congratulations, you have a live internet connection.
Okay, so the router has been hooked up. It was extremely simple. The installation guide that comes with it, I read from it as we were doing it. It was really easy. So opening the browser was a success. Let's go now and try to hook up wirelessly. We'll use the HP photosmart premium printer. So we'll go in to setup. We'll go to network. We'll go to wireless setup wizard. So take a couple of seconds. So it found the Netgear 00. So we're going to tap on that. And now I need to enter the password. So we'll be back in a second. Password's in, so it's attempting to make a network connection. We're connected to the network. Touch OK to print a report. And it printed out. No problems were found. Congratulations on successful setup of your wireless printer.
Da, da, da.
Now that the printer has been connected to the network, that was the manual method of putting in, where you had to enter the password or passphrase. What we're going to do now is we're going to hook the laptop in using the WPS method. That's the last button on the router that I showed you. It's the Wi-Fi protected setup. So what we're going to do, the easiest way for us to do this is to just come down here to our internet, click on it, find our internet, the Netgear, click on that, connect automatically. Now I can either put the network security key in here like I did on the printer, or as you can see, you can also connect by pushing a button on the router, which is the WPS. So I'm going to go push that button right now, and I'll show you what it does. Okay, so I push the button on the router, and the screen changed to this. I can either connect to the router or not. So I'm going to choose the second one. Yes, turn on sharing and connect to the device for home networks. Now remember, I had to put a password and everything in for the printer. This way here, boom, we're connected to the router. So this gives you an idea of the setup, wireless and using Ethernet cables. We hope that you found it useful. Remember, we're only novices. We're not experts at this. So thanks for watching.
The end.